You've mentioned that you read up to 52 books per year. What is it you're learning right now?
I try to read a book a week. Again, I'm not always successful, but I try to make up the time.
What kind of book?
I just read nonfiction. So I know that some people might think that that's bad, or some people like fiction books, but it's just how my brain stores things. And I believe that the problem is my brain needs to do something with the information. So with fiction books, because of my circles, my networks, it's very difficult to have conversations on fiction books. And what I like to do with the information, so if I just read a book and I want to store the information, I actually go and find someone to speak to about the book. So you attended my gatherings that I do in the desert. The reason why I have this gathering, the primary reason, is for me to register the information of the books I'm reading. Because I would go there and have a conversation with someone and try to actually distill what I learned from the book. So then my recall becomes faster, it gets stored in my memory much better. And at the same time, I'm able to learn from that person because they're able to give me their inputs, right? So it's about the quality of the people and the quality of the books. But one principle that I live on, and I actually am hoping to write a book on this one day. So I once came across this information, this piece of information. If you spend a good quality hour learning something, within 6 months you're going to become one of the best people in the world in this specific skill or the specific piece of knowledge. And you won't be the top 0.1%, but you'll be within the top 1% of the world. And I said to myself, if that is the case, how many things can I master in my lifetime? So I broke down my life in 6-month sprints and said, what is the total number of things that I can learn? So let's assume, hypothetically, I was 25 at the time, and I assumed that I'm going to live until I was 85, right? So that's 60 years. If you break that down in 6 months, that's 120 sprints. I can only learn 120 things in my life. And if you actually look at it that way, there's not much time, and there are so many things to learn. You can learn about, critiquing art. You can learn how to cook. You can learn to play an instrument. You can learn the art of oration or writing or public speaking or socializing and networking. There are so many things to learn in life, and there's so little time. So what I do as well is I try to break down my life into these sprints. And even if I'm not successful, like you will have time periods where you're very, very busy. Just the fact that I'm embarking on quality time learning something, my brain will be able to absorb information better. I will improve. It's the aggregate of it is you will see improvement over time, and I'll be able to build this sense of interest where I'm always interested in something else. There's a funny inside joke in the office. This is when we were junior employees. People used to call me the expert, and they meant it in a condescending way because they're like, every few months he comes to us and he's an expert on saffron, and then he's an expert on coffee, and then he starts critiquing, I don't know, art, and they thought that I was a know-it-all. But when push came to shove, they were like, okay, this guy actually knows his stuff. And why they were able to see that was because they saw it in action. Like, I could critique something, but then actually go back to the fundamentals of it. So I've always had this sense of, okay, I need to have a sprint. I have to keep improving on that.